Hello and welcome to TD's Pokemon Lair. I'm TD and this is my lair. Today we're unboxing a box of 10 Pokemon cards I sent to PSA a little while ago. Got them back in this box, professionally packaged. Then we get them out of the box and we'll see what grades we get. Alright, let's go. Check out this 1999 Pokemon game base computer search. It's a trainer card. The number 71 card of the set. Looking at the front of this card, I like the centering from top to bottom. It looks within the spec. Left to right, centering I think is within the spec also. Our surface is very clean, no scratches, creases, or bends. Our corners and edges I think are very clean and show no damage. Flipping the card over and looking at the back, our surface shows no damage like creases, bends, or scratches. Our centering from top to bottom and left to right, I think it's all within the tolerances. Looking at our corners and our edges, I do see a speck of damage on that lower left corner. And this trainer card is going to get a grade of 9. An old card got a 9. Great. Awesome. Let's look at this 1999 Pokemon game base Devolution Spray, a trainer, the number 72 card of the set. Looking at our surface, I do not see any damage like creases, bends, or scratches. Our graphics look very vibrant and bright. Looking at our centering from left to right, to me it's a little towards the right, but I think that's within the tolerance. Centering from top to bottom does look within the tolerances. Looking at our corners and our edges, if you look at that upper left corner on the upper side of it, you can see that there's looks like a little speck of damage or a ding there. The back of the card looks really good. There's no scratches, creases, or bends on the surface. Our centering from top to bottom and left to right all looks within the tolerances. Our corners and our edges actually look really clean and show no damage. And we're going to get a good grade of 9. Wow, that little ding is the only thing I think that kept us from a 10. Here is a 1999 Pokemon game base Imposter Professor Oak, a trainer card, the number 73. This card looks very clean. There's no scratches, creases, or bends. Our centering from left to right and top to bottom I think is all within the tolerances. Looking at our corners and our edges on this card, I think they're pretty clean and do not show any damage. The back of the card looks pretty good. I do not see any scratches, creases, or bends or any other problems on the surface of the card. Our centering from left to right and top to bottom I think it's all within the tolerances. Finally getting to our corners and our edges, the two upper corners and the lower left corner all have some specks of damage, and I do not see anything else. And that's going to get us a grade of near mint 8. Actually, I think that was a little low. I think that should have got a 9. We're looking at a 1999 Pokemon game base item finder, a trainer card, the number 74 card of this set. This item finder looks really clean. There's no scratches, creases, or bends on the surface. The graphics look great. Our centering from top to bottom and left to right I think is all within the tolerances. Looking at the corners and edges on the front of this card, I do not see any damage. The back of the card is very clean, just like the front. There's no scratches, creases, or bends. Looking at our centering from left to right, it's quite a bit towards the left, I think taking us out of the 10 spec. Looking at our top to bottom centering, it's slightly towards the top, but I think that's still within the spec. And looking at our corners and our edges, I think they're nice and clean and show no damage. And we're going to get a grade of mint 9. I think that centering on the back gave us a 9. Let me show you this 1999 Pokemon game base last Shadowless version, a trainer card, the number 75 card of the set. Looking at the front of this card, there's no creases, bends, or scratches. Our colors are vibrant. There's no on the centering from top to bottom, it's slightly towards the top. Side to side, I think it's within the tolerance. Looking at our corners and our edges, you can see on that left side there's some dirty looking edge and a little bit of damage, and on that upper edge right at that left corner you can see that there's some slight damage right there. Flipping the card over, our main surface of the card is free of any damage like creases, bends, or scratches. Our centering from top to bottom and left to right I think it's all within the tolerances. Once we get to our corners and our edges though, all four corners and the edges all have some slight damage. And this last is going to get a grade of excellent mint 6. You're looking at a 1999 Pokemon game base Pokemon Breeder, a trainer card, the number 76 card of this set. This one looks very clean. There's no scratches, creases, bends, or other problems on the surface. Our centering from top to bottom and left to right all look within the specs or tolerance. Our corners and edges, I do not see any damage or any other problems on those. The back of the card looks almost as good as the front. I don't see any issues with the surface like creases, bends, or scratches. Our centering from top to bottom and left to right all look within the tolerances. Looking at our corners and our edges, I think on that upper right corner and lower left corner, there might be some specks of damage. And that's going to get us a grade of Mint 9. That's a pretty good grade for that card. This card is a 1999 Pokemon game base Pokemon Trader, a trainer card, the number 77. This card looks very clean, no scratches, creases, or bends. Our centering from top to bottom and left to right, I think, is all within the tolerances. Looking at our corners and our edges, they're very clean on this card. This is a nice looking card. Let's see if the back is as good as the front. Our centering from top to bottom and left to right looks really good. I think it's within the tolerance. Our surface is clean with no scratches, creases, or bends. Looking at our corners and our edges, I really don't see any problems there. Nothing jumping out at me. Maybe some slight damage down that right edge, but very slight. And that's going to get us a grade of Mint 9. Wow, I thought that might have been a 10. Let's check out this 1999 Pokemon game base Scoop Up, a trainer card, the number 78 card of the set. Looking at the front of this card, there is no problems on the graphics, no scratches, creases, or bends on the surface. Our centering from top to bottom and left to right are all within the tolerances or specs. Looking at our corners and our edges, they're crisp and clean and free of any damage. The back of the card looks as good as the front. On the surface, there's no scratches, creases, or bends. Our centering from top to bottom and left to right, I think it's all within the tolerances for the back of the card. Looking at our corners and our edges, I do see a speck or two of damage on that lower right corner. And that's going to get us a grade for this trainer of Mint 9. I like it. I like it like that. We are looking at a 1999 Pokemon game base Super Energy Removal, the number 79 card of the set. This one looks really clean and nice. I like the centering from top to bottom and left to right. I think it's all within the tolerances. Looking at our surface, it's free and clear of any scratches, creases, or bends. Looking at our corners and our edges, they are nice and clean and free of any damage. Let's flip it over and look at the back, and our centering from top to bottom and left to right is all within the tolerance. Looking at our surface, I do not see any creases, bends, scratches, or dirt, or any other problems. Looking at our corners and our edges, I think there's slight damage on the lower left and possibly the lower right corner. And this card's going to get a grade of Mint 9. That's really good for an old card. I'm showing you this 1999 Pokemon game base Defender, a trainer card, the number 80 card of the set. Looking at the front of this card, I do not see any issues, no scratches, creases, or bends. Looking at our centering from top to bottom, left to right, I think it's all within the tolerances or specs. Looking at our corners and edges, I do not see any damage or anything that would affect a grade. Let's turn it over and look at the back, and we'll start with our surface. No creases, bends, scratches, or any other problems. Our centering from top to bottom and left to right is all within the tolerance or spec. Looking at our corners and our edges, the only thing I see is there's some minor damage, very minor, down that right side. And that's going to get us a grade of Near Mint 8. Wow. That's a little low. I didn't think I seen anything that would take us down to an 8 from it should have been a 9. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and the cards I presented. Please like and subscribe. And always remember, you got to catch them all. Have a great day.